All right, well, welcome everybody. This is a little bit of a rainy afternoon. My name is Julian. I'm the founder and CEO of Oclef. Oclef started as a software company, and we've grown from a very little software company to the largest online campus school in America over the last 10 years. And one of our goals currently is to open up a new small company called ABA, which is what we've just started a few years back. And the primary goal is to act almost like Music Teachers Association of California and support the music teachers in the area who maybe don't have as many resources as other schools or as other studios. So what we've done is we've taken our own chamber orchestra, we've collected some of the top musicians from the local high schools and local chamber orchestras, and we've been slowly curating programs every year. And we've been doing it for ourselves, but now we're starting to do it for the community. And this is our third contemporary festival. We had one about a year ago, we had one in the fall, and then we're going to keep doing this twice a year. And a lot of times teachers ask us, like, why are you doing this? Because you're losing like so much money by doing this. The reason why it's so important is that we see performances as almost like games. For sports, we have performances for music. And very often, because teachers have limited resources, they maybe only do 1 or 2 performances a year. So we've opened up all of our concerts. This past year we did over 30, we're going to do over 50 next year. These are like a little bit more specialized. So for us to do these types of things, we kind of turn them into a festival, and they're growing pretty fast at this point. And we hope to keep on encouraging you guys to not just do it once a year, but maybe sign up twice a year. And it's a great way for you guys to get experience for your children, because this is, I don't know if anyone told you, it's really a rare experience. Growing up in Canada, I grew up in Canada, if you got lucky, you would play once your entire time as a student with orchestra, and that year maybe 20 people in all of America would play with orchestra. So it's a very rare experience. Maybe your teacher hasn't even played with orchestra before, you maybe ask them. So we're trying to make this now common. We're actually going to be working with many youth orchestras across the country to make this a common model, because we think it's the right thing to do. We're also going to have expansion into string quartets next year. That's going to be something we're going to be doing. So for people who don't win, we had people who didn't win this time, they'll still have a chance to get second place. And second place will not get the full orchestra, not get a conductor, not get a rehearsal with conductor, but maybe they'll get a chance to play with a string quartet, which is kind of nice as well. And again, these are just environments for growth. This is our mission. So this is the nonprofit version of our company, and this is one of the things that we're working really hard to do, to create these environments to help other students and teachers. So what you're seeing today are a collection of 9 of the best that we find in the area. We're really proud of this orchestra. We've been working really hard over the last year and a half to build up our orchestra, and we hope that you guys enjoy the performance. The performers who are playing today are playing music. None of it is by people who are dead. Now, that's not entirely true. We have music by Clementi, we have music by Bergmuller. Those people are long gone. However, the music that you're hearing the orchestra play has been written by people who are alive today. And so they're kind of curating that music for them. So it sounds like it's old, but it's almost like you were to watch a show on Netflix and it was, something from like the 1800s. It's not really from the 1800s. And so that's the idea. We want to have students like your children play music from living composers, because 99% of what they're playing is by people who have long gone. So, for example, Dr. Bell has some pieces that are being played today. Julius Caesar is being played today, which is a really cool experience. So not only do these students get to play with composers, but they also get to play with an orchestra and conductor. And that's sort of the idea here. So I think hopefully you get the idea, and I hope you enjoy your afternoon. It'll be a quick and intense and fun afternoon. At the end, we'll have all the students come out and take one last picture. But until then, I'm going to pass it over to Dr. Bell. Thank you so much. The first performer we have today is Howard Liu. He's performing Searching for Home. Our next performer is Isabella Chen, performing Clementi Sonatina, Opus 36, Movement 3. Next is Alexander Koch, performing Kuhlau's Sonatina in C, Movement 1. Next up is Lucas Gall, performing Ludwig Treviranus's Motions in Time. Our next performer is Caitlin Ma, performing Clementi Sonatina No. 1, Opus 36, Movement 3. Our next performer is Vivian Chen, performing Clementi Sonatina No. 3, Opus 36, Movement 3. Next up is Nathan Nieves performing Bergmüller's Arabesque. And the last performer of the festival before we shift to the composer section will be Chris Chen performing Julius Caesar. Okay, well, that's the first half of our program. The second half is much shorter, but we wanted to first recognize a few people. We sent out a call for, just like we want to have young students perform with orchestra, we also want composers to perform their music with orchestra, because it's quite rare. Not everyone gets a chance, like Dr. Matthew Bell or Dr. Ludwig, who are on our faculty. So people who we called and we submitted out there, they submitted us music. We had 40 composers submit us music. And we picked 3 winners and 1 honorable mention. And the performers that we were going to have in a moment are going to be playing Diego Martinez's Tango and Alma. That's the first place winner. Yuki Nakamura, Sakura Dreams, is the second place winner. Wei Lun Chang is the third place winner with Lantern Reverie. And our honorable mention goes to Isabella Rossi. Again, these are composers. She has a piece called Sonata del Hombre. And these are all pieces that they wrote, and these are living composers. So what you're going to be hearing now are one of our students, Andrew Chong, is going to be performing the first one, and then one of our faculty members is going to be performing the remaining 3, and that'll conclude our program. After that, we'll have everyone come out one more time, but I hope you enjoyed these new compositions. These are the winners from our Contemporary Music Festival composition. Next up will be Andrew Chong. This is Diego Martinez, Tango and Alma. Next up will be Dr. Yin Zai performing Yuki Nakamura's Sakura Dreams, followed by Wei Lun Chang, Lantern Reverie, and closing the program with Isabella Rossi, Sonata del Hombre. right, let's get our orchestra singing. Let's give them one more round of applause. And if we can have all of our performers come out one more time. We just want to help you guys stand up here with Dr. Bell. You guys can take a picture. I'm sure your parents wanted you to take a picture with Dr. Bell and the orchestra today. And let's hear it one more time for them. Congratulations, everyone. You gotta keep smiling for a while. This is the hardest part. Everyone's thinking, where do I look? While we have them standing here, you guys can keep standing. One thing to keep in mind is next November is when we'll have the next festival. So it'll be November 15 and 16. The performance will be on the 16th. So if you guys want to enroll again for the festival, we will have it. That'll be the next time that it happens. So we hope to see you guys again, and we'll release a whole bunch of new music. All right. And one more shameless plug before we go is that we have another concert tonight. If you do want to come, you are welcome. We still have some available space left in the hall. It's going to be 24 Women Who Changed the World. They're written by Dr. Bell and Dr. Ludwig Trabranis, two of the composers that you've heard today. It will also be with our orchestra, and it will be with many of the top pianists in the area who are coming in to perform. And these are world premieres, so they've never been heard, unlike what you heard today. They've completely new music. So 24 Women Who Changed the World. We did 24 Men Who Changed the World last year. So people like Cleopatra and people like that. So if you want to come, that'll be tonight at 5 o'clock. That's when we'll have the next concert here. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. Thank you so much for coming. So previously we just did piano, and now we get piano and composers. So that's the way that they do the program. Potentially great. We want to put it up to other instruments. Like because the composers who are part of versus Beethoven. So contemporary just means with the time. So on is with what you're saying, the tonality is you're saying what is it? Yeah. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. You're asking how much not very classical. It's not very classical. Yeah, that's what this love is. And then you submit it. Oh, okay. So like Isabella, she's a teacher in Italy, and she submitted her music. So these are like everyday people who have a passion for composing, and they submitted their music, and then we selected who we felt are making interesting music. That's how we did. Yeah, that's what basically. Oh, like which one? I don't know who that is specifically, but I know that they have a podcast. Yeah, so
You add something that you know that
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
you may be a shop, you know, I know you're from programming from software.
Yeah.
I want to see you though.
Oh, it's easy.
For something you don't want to use a computer or a cell phone, so you're going to add something make sure something.
Yeah, we had stuff like that. Typically, what we're looking for with this is to utilize. So we have to So when we make calls, we have composers who do that kind of music, but also, like, for example, like Diego Martinez, he does a lot of electric tango stuff, but for this specific submission, it sounds more, because that was the suggestion genre that we're looking for. So if you listen to some of the stuff, it's like, on the radio.
Huh? Your 16 notes is much clearer than yours.
So I know what you're talking about. We don't have but the genre that we're going for is contemporary festivals, stuff like that. Which you might hear from somebody like Circular or Middle Class. So it's like a specific vertical. Yeah. But yeah, feel free to have your friends submit in the future. We're going to be doing this twice a year. This is the first time we did the poster. We only did piano before. So it'll keep going on. It's like it's a contribution to the community. That's what I did. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah,
You know what the projector keeps like shutting off?
Time off thing with the computer. So if your computer turns off, don't mind, it's sort of
Oh, okay.
that's the battery set like that.
Yeah, it must be like a battery saver.